My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my list of my most anticipated movies of 2022. Now, this is a top 10 list. There's many more movies that I'm excited for, but just to narrow it down, I'm going to do 10. So let's begin with what is my 10th most anticipated movie of 2022. Now, to be fair, this movie isn't officially confirmed for 2022, but as of now, it's looking like it will come out. So I'm going to go ahead and say in 10th place, we've got Insidious, The Dark Realm. I know that seems like a really outside the box kind of choice, but I'm a massive fan of the Insidious franchise. The first one is one of my favorite movies ever. The second one is beyond underrated. It's such an amazing movie. The third one is also really good and really creepy. The fourth one isn't great, but it's not bad either. And now we're going back to the Daltons. We've got Patrick Wilson directing it. And I'm kind of curious to see what he'll bring to this franchise and what direction they're going to take this franchise in next. This is a franchise that isn't afraid to go crazy, to go bonkers. I don't know if the lipstick face demon's coming back or what's going to be involved with the plot, but either way, I'm very excited to see where this franchise goes. I hope it's a fun, goofy horror movie, and I can't wait for it. Now, in ninth place is another movie that's not officially confirmed for 2022, but it is looking like it, and that's Pinocchio. No, not that Pinocchio. Not the Disney live-action remake Pinocchio. The stop-motion animated movie directed by Guillermo del Toro that's going directly to Netflix. I'm a massive fan of Guillermo del Toro. I love Pan's Labyrinth, I love Hellboy 1 and 2, and for him to make a stop-motion Pinocchio movie, that just sounds amazing to me. Pinocchio is actually a very dark and sinister tale, and I'm just kind of curious to see what he'll bring to it and what kind of horrific imagery that he'll bring to it, because it's stop motion, it's Pinocchio, it's Guillermo del Toro. You know that this is going to have some terrifying imagery, and if it's like one of those creepy movies that kids can watch too, that is just one of my favorite kind of movies. I'm very excited for this movie, so hopefully that does come out in 2022, and hopefully it's amazing because I can't wait for it. And in 8th place, we've got Elvis, which seems like an odd choice if you know me, because I really hate musical biopics. I just find them to be so cliche, so formulaic, and it's the most overrated movie genre there is. That said though, this one is about Elvis Presley, and it's directed by Baz Luhrmann. Who's Baz Luhrmann, you may ask? He's the man who directed Moulin Rouge, he directed Australia, he directed The Great Gatsby, and if you can say anything about him, it's that he is such a unique filmmaker. He has this unique style that's just so loud and so in your face. And it's not for everyone, but Moulin Rouge is one of my favorite movies, and I'm just curious to see what he'll bring to this biopic. If it was directed by anyone else, I wouldn't care about it, but I just know that he's going to give this movie a unique style, a distinct personality, and I'm just so curious to see what he brings to it. So yes, I'm very excited for this movie. And in 7th place, after 47 years, we're finally getting Avatar 2. And yes, this is a movie I'm so excited for. I still love the first Avatar movie, and I don't know what kind of story we're going to get here, but what I do know is that James Cameron is going to bring it to life in such a visceral way, in such a way that'll be unlike anything else. He always likes to push technology further. The guy's a master behind the camera, and I just know that this movie is going to deliver on a scale unlike anything else before. I cannot wait for this movie. I think it's going to be something really special, and all those people talking shit about it now are going to be eating their words in a year from now. So yes, I can't wait. And in 6th place, we've got Nope. Now, I'm a massive fan of Jordan Peele as a director. I believe he should have won the Oscar for Get Out. He just did an amazing job directing that movie. What he brings on a visceral level while still being terrifying and really funny at the same time, that movie is just a masterclass in directing. Now, I still enjoyed Us enough, but it's definitely a step down, but his directing was still amazing. The movie visually and just what he brings to it is really phenomenal stuff. I just have problems with the writing. And the fact that Jordan Peele is directing yet another horror movie, I have no idea what it's about or what to expect, but I know that even if I don't love it, it's going to be something different. So I can't wait for Nope. In 5th place is The Batman. Now, if you know me, you know that I'm a massive Batman fan. I'm excited to see what Robert Pattinson does in this role. I'm excited to see a very dark, sadistic take on the Riddler, it looks like, and Paul Dano looks excellent as him. Matt Reeves is an incredible director. This movie looks great, and the fact that it's actually going to focus on the more detective elements of Batman, I just think we're going to get something very different here. I'm very excited for it, and it's my favorite superhero, and it looks like we're going to get yet another amazing movie. So fingers crossed that's the case, but yes, I'm very excited for The Batman. And in 4th place is Babylon. Now, 2 of my favorite movies of all time are La La Land and Whiplash. These 2 movies are very different from each other, yet they're directed absolutely perfectly. And for Damien Chazelle to direct any movie, it's automatically going to be on my most anticipated list. I liked Norse Man. I think it's incredibly well directed. It's just not my favorite kind of movie. But he still did a good job with it, and I just can't wait to see what this guy does next. I know it's going to be set around old Hollywood. I think Brad Pitt's in it, and Margot Robbie, among some other great cast members. So I'm just very excited to see what he does with this movie. I know it's going to be something very special. So yes, I'm excited for that movie. And in 3rd place is Window and Wild. If you haven't heard about that movie, it's directed by Henry Selick, who directed Nightmare Before Christmas, which is my favorite Christmas movie, one of my favorite movies of all time. He also directed James and the Giant Peach, which is a pretty decent movie, Monkey Bone, which I find to be underrated, and he also directed Coraline, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, it's in my top 10. I love Coraline, and I love what he brings to it. And for Henry Selick to direct another creepy animated movie, I just can't wait to see what he brings. I'm very excited for it. I don't know anything about the plot. I think it's got Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele voicing in it. So yes, this is a movie that I'm very excited for. I hope it's amazing. And in 2nd place, we've got The Norse Man, which is directed by Robert Eggers, who directed The Witch, which is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. He also directed The Lighthouse, another movie that I loved. And I've already heard amazing things about this movie. I don't know if it's going to be more indie like those 2 movies, or if it's going to be a bigger blockbuster. But I just know that he'll deliver. He finds an interesting way to fully immerse the audience into a certain time period, whether it be the look of it or the language used. He's just a masterclass behind the camera, and the cast to this movie is phenomenal. Everything about this movie just sounds amazing. It's a tale about Vikings, and it looks like it could be this big epic tale. I just can't wait for it. So I'm incredibly excited for this movie. But in 4th place, my most anticipated movie of 2022 is, drumroll please, Mission Impossible 7. I love the Mission Impossible franchise. With the exception of the 2nd movie, which I don't really like, and the first movie's only decent, I love all the other 4 movies in this franchise, and they continue to get better and better. You think by the 6th movie, they would have been worn out by then, but the 6th one is actually one of my favorite movies of all time. It's definitely a top 3 action movie of all time. I absolutely love it, and just what I've heard from this movie, they continue to make it bigger and better. I've heard he rides a bike off a mountain and then jumps off of it, and just everything I've heard about this movie sounds insane. I'm sure we're going to get some incredible stunts. This, to me, is like the epitome of the summer movie blockbuster. I think that's real, though, because it comes out in September, but I can't wait for this movie. Like, I'm so pumped for it. I can't wait. Yes, it just sounds and looks incredible. Yes, I'm very excited. But anyways, those are my top 10 anticipated movies of 2022. What movies are you most looking forward to? Please let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon, and Gavin out.